moms. I titled this one Don't Sweat the Small Stuff because it was on my mind to think about all the little things you worry about when you're a new mom. And a lot of times they're not as big a deal as you make them out to be. And it is very important to be aware of little things and to check with your pediatrician if you have a worry or something. That's very wise. With babies, do not play around because, something could be wrong or they can catch it right away and fix it. But there's a lot of little things that aren't that big of a deal. So I used to hear that expression, don't sweat the small stuff, and I would think, I can't not do that because this is the small stuff that stresses me out. But as I'm learning to be a new mom, I'm realizing the truth of that. Because there's like little things that I could worry about, just the minor things that would cause me to go into a tailspin if I let them. Like, Dragon keeps getting little scratches all over his face. Or little scratches here and scratches everywhere. And I could be like, oh my goodness, what's happening to him? Why is he getting all scratched up? What's wrong with my baby's face? But no, I think he's just scratching himself. I've been trying to cut his nails. It's very difficult to cut baby fingernails. I don't care who you are, unless you're a Zen master or something. I cannot cut baby fingernails very well, but I'm trying. And, so he kind of stretches himself a little bit, not a whole bunch, just like every once in a while there's little scratches. So that's normal. That's gonna happen. Also, I want to let you know that it's okay to be frustrated. It's okay to be stressed out. I get stressed out and frustrated a lot, especially when I first came home from the hospital with baby, and I had struggles with breastfeeding, and I might talk about that in another segment. When baby was crying and I didn't know anything to do for him and breastfeeding wasn't working out, I would be holding him and he'd be crying and I'd be crying with him and I'd just be bawling, not knowing what to do. So if you're going to be a new mom, I hope you don't have to go through that experience, but I've read that it's pretty common. So it's just a really overwhelming feeling. You're like, I don't know what to do for this little person that I just brought home. And, you kind of think that after you have the baby, you're going to be super mom and you're going to know everything. But it doesn't happen that way. It's a major learning process. So I'm here to tell you that if you do sit there and cry while your baby's crying, it's okay. Just get it out. Otherwise, you're going to get angry. And the anger will get the best of you, and that's not good for you or baby or anybody else around you. Probably the best way to handle it would be better than what I did. Instead of holding the baby and crying and just letting the baby pick up on your feelings like I shouldn't have, I should have put him in the bed and walked away and just dealt with it. But it was really difficult because I don't live alone, and I was going through the struggle of when I let him cry a little bit, someone would run in the room and pick him up like I was torturing him. So that's a struggle that I had to deal with, an extra struggle. So I feel like I could have probably handled it different if other people weren't around. But if you have the opportunity to do this, or you have whoever's helping you raise the baby is on board with it, then talk to them. Communicating with them is the key, and say, hey, this is what I need to do. I need to put him down and walk away. Please don't pick him up and coddle him, because it will just make me feel worse. That's what always made me feel worse. It made me feel like I was a bad mom because I couldn't handle it. But it's okay to put the baby down in a safe place and in their bed and just walk away for just a few minutes and then come back. That was a big stressor for me. But I finally learned to deal with that. Like, He doesn't cry as much as he used to. Every once in a while he will, but I can pretty much figure out what he needs, which is pretty cool. You kind of build up a little communication system with your baby and I feel a connection with him now that's slowly forming. So now I've learned, especially when either other people are sleeping or when I'm home alone with him, that I can, even if he's a little fussy, just put him down in the bed, talk to him, tell him this is what I'm going to go do and I'll be back in a little while. And sometimes, like I said in my other video, I'll just come back and he will be asleep, or he'll be playing and happy and squealing. So it's okay to do that. I mean, as long as it's a safe place, baby will be okay. Just don't want you guys to think that you're alone in your struggles, because you're not. There's a lot of things that you will feel during the first few weeks of bringing your baby home. A lot of weird hormone stuff that's still working itself out. And you'll be like, why do I feel this way? I'm not pregnant anymore. I shouldn't be feeling this way. And maybe you'll be angry at yourself, and maybe you'll be like, this is stupid. I should be able to handle this. You know, you'll be punishing yourself for it. But please don't do that. I mean, I did that. And I'm just telling you guys, you can do it if you want, but I just don't want you to have to go through what I went through. So I'm just telling you, I've learned, looking back on it from experience, that you're just new at this, and the baby's new at this too. So just work together, and there will be times where you won't know what to do and you'll be going out of your mind. But in those times, just take solace, take a break, regain your composure, and go back to baby. And if you have the opportunity to have other people help you that you trust, you know, kind of let them take over and just give yourself a break for a second. I'm real good about not thinking that I'm allowed to have a break, that I should be responsible for him 24/7. So it's really hard for me, but I'm getting better at it. Basically what I wanted to say for today, I just kind of want to keep these videos short and offer just a little bit of experience, advice, encouragement to you guys.